Hello, guys. So let's first let me quickly explain what was the issue, right? If you remember, okay, earlier, right? See, you know, what we have done was in our, like block, we click the block button, right? So in the database, we had a block information, okay? For I'm the user, right? So my account was blocked here in the database, okay? So that's why when we try to hide that button, and because there was a blocked, user was blocked, right? So it was unable to display the page. And the reason is, if you go to the go to your profile, okay, let's go to the profile right here. If you look at here, is blocked. If the user is blocked, then not found page. You remember that, okay? That's the reason. So I have to go back to the database here. I just went here and delete that blocked information, right? And it worked, okay? So that is all. So the next thing is, like we need to, you see here, right? Up to here, we have done the class earlier. We were trying to hide that button, right? Because if I'm the user, right? I don't need to see that, like follow and the block for myself, okay? But if there is another user, and if I open their profile, right, then I need to see that, okay? So there is a condition you will figure out, right? Next is user media. So here we're going to display my like profile image, right? That is the thing we're going to display. And the friend request, right? So if there is any, let's say if there is a second user, right, who signed to this database, then I can send the friend request, okay? Okay, so we can do that, right? We can do that, okay? So so let me quickly pause here and reply the message. All right, so let's continue, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at this part now. Before that, let me show you what we have done earlier, right? So if you go back, let me close this and the friend request here, right? Not that one, but this one. Now, where was that user info card, right? User info card. We were working on that. So you see that if the current user ID and the current user ID is not equal to user ID, right? See, if this current user ID is equal to user ID, then only this whole thing will be true, okay? So try to understand that logic, right? The condition, okay? And when this is true, then it will display this part, okay? But right now, I'm the current user ID. I have the current user ID, right? I'm the user, which is not equal to user ID, right? Means I don't have any other profile, okay, like second person profile, right? So that's why it is not equal to user ID, because even user is myself, right? I'm the user also right now. So that's the reason this is false, because this current user ID is same with the user ID, right? Same, equal, they are equal, but I said not equal. That's why it become false, right? But when they are two different ID, then it will be true, and this will be true, and it will display this button, okay? So that is all we have to just added a condition, right? Okay, guys, so let's move to the next part. Next part is what is the next one, right here? Let's display the media, right? Media, okay? So I have almost added all the code here. Let's go through that. The user media, right? User media card here. Mostly in the media, just think of the logic, right? The logic is get the data from the profile, right? Profile, okay? So if we go to our schema now, right? If maybe you're thinking, what is profile? Where is profile, right? So we have the table here called not profile, but post, right? This post. Okay, so the post, you're gonna find the image here, right? So if there is image, right, let's say okay, one second now. I have many posts, right? And I added many images also. So yeah, that's fine. So just for example, let's take this one. Let's take this example, right? This post has image, right? I have image there, and I want to display this, right? So how I can do that? So we're working on the media component, user media, right? User media here, user media card, right? Okay. So first thing, you import Prisma, right? Import Prisma. Also import. Okay, that is the only thing we need, right? And then we're gonna fetch data, right? So inside this user media card component, after curly bracket, create a variable post with media, right? Okay, then get the all images. I mean, basically not, see here is the thing, right? Not null. Okay, sometimes if you look at the schema, right, there is a question mark. That means there might be some post does not have image, but some of them have, right? Like optional, image is optional. Okay, so we're saying if the image is not null, if there is not null means there is the image, right? So the post with image, just give me that data, right? I don't want all the image. Okay, I don't want all the image from the post. Maybe I have 20 posts, right? If all has image, I don't want that. Maybe I want from descending order, right? From the last, give me the last 8 image, right? From the last. Okay, so take 8, order by created date. Okay, created at descending. Ascending means start to end, descending from behind, right? From the last one, which was created last, right? From there. So it will give me 8 posts. Okay, and I'm just taking the post with the image, right? Fine. So it will return me the array with the object. The next step is basically, you know, like inside here, right, where I'm displaying all the post, so all the media, right, all the image. So what I will do, I'm gonna check if there is the length, right? This array has a length. If that is true, array.length, then I'm gonna map through that array, get each object, and you know, now we're just gonna display the div. This each div is the one image, right? So source, you get put it the post.image, and if I don't put this one, right, so that it will complain that maybe its image is like null, right? But here I know I'm gonna get image. I'm gonna get image, right? I'm gonna get image. Okay, if I have the data, that means I have the image. That's what I guarantee here, right? If I have this post with media length, that means I have image, because I'm just fetching the image with the image link, right? Okay, so that's it. I mean, I have the image here. I'm just gonna call the image component from the Next.js source. I will get from post image. You know, just put here some alt tag, maybe. Yeah, I think for now I'll just leave it empty, right? And fill, again, remember the fill thing, right? If you have div relative, this div has height, width of like 20% and height of 24, right? So width, my box has width 20%, means I can put 5 image, or sorry, 4 image inside, right? At least 4 image. Okay, 80%, and maybe the gap will be something, right? There will be some gap also between them. Okay, so, and the height is 24 for each image, right? So this image will just fill the box here. Okay, object cover, make it some rounded small, right? Fine. So I want like 4 image in one row, right? And maybe next row 4 image, like 8 image. Okay, if there is no image or if there is no post with media, then just no media found, right? So that is what you see here, no media found right now. Later we're going to add one post and see how image will display, right? So I think let's add one post. Okay, see if we can do something right here. Let's go to the post, right? Add record. So we have to choose the user. Okay, who is the user? I will select here, right? And yeah, so that is what I have done. Save changes. Okay, open in the new tab. User. Okay, fine. So we just selected the user, right? Then go to the post, back to the post. I don't know why it's not select, and how I can open, how I can save now. So we need to select user. That is fine. Let's keep working, right? We have the user here. The description, let's make it test, maybe something like that. Image, let's find the image, right? So Unsplash, let's gonna get something. So let's make it copy the image address, right? And place here. I'm just doing manually for now, right? I hope that is okay. You need to get the whole image address, right? That's long. Plus unsplash.com. If this link is not there, right, in our Next.js config, then we have to add that. Okay, but for now I will just leave it like that. Or let me find another image. Okay, so what I'm gonna find, right? This, okay. Copy image address and let's add it. I'm gonna remove this. Oh, delete and add again, right? Fine, I'll leave it like that. Created add now, updated, user is there, user ID is there, comment, like, and all that, right? Even you can make it okay, just leave it, comment, leave it, right? Save change, okay? And we got the one data, right? One post we have now. Let's refresh our page and see if we get that image display here, right? Let's refresh that, and it look like something is popping up, right? Look like, okay, that's work. Okay, so see, it just pulled that one image from the post. So if you have here, it will fit 4 image, right? If you have 4 posts with image, it will get that. If there is 8, maximum is 8, right? So this box will be filled up with the X. So you get the idea now. Let's work on the friend request, right? So right now there is no friend request. I don't have any friend. Even the post number appear, right? There is one post. I added one post. Okay, you can see that, right? The number 1. Followers and following is not there right now, but let's work on this friend request now. So let's get back to our database. So let me close this. Yeah, I was working on here, right? I added all the code before, right? Let me comment this out, and let me uncomment this, right? Okay, so if I save and go back here and refresh, it gives the image. Okay, it gives some error, right? Fine, image is missing. Let me import the image. Import image, right? I mean, there will be some error because I have deleted something, right? But remember, there was the friend request. Okay, so I don't have X and check, right? So I put it here. Let's copy that. The thing is, right? It looks something like this because there is no friend, right? There is no users yet. I'm the only one user. Okay, we're gonna add one user and see if we can display here, right? And then click on either cancel, send the friend request. Then you can, when you have a friend request, right, then only it will display here. Either you can accept or cancel, right? Okay, so this is what we're gonna, so this is each div, right? Each component here, each div means one section, right? So we're gonna build that. Later we're gonna loop through the database and display all this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all out. For now we don't need this, right? We're gonna have separate component for that. We don't need image. And also we don't need all this, right? We're gonna add our own component. Okay, so let me delete this. The same thing, okay, same thing we are building, right? But now inside this component, the friend request list, right? So we're gonna build that component. Okay, so here what is happening, right? Let's look at this. We're gonna get auth. We find the user ID from the auth. We check if no user ID, return null. Follow request from this table, right? Find where receiver ID is user ID. In the follow request, see, I'm the user, right? I have the user ID. Find all the data, right? If there is a friend request, that is what we are trying to get here, request. Okay, all the users who I have sent the friend request, right? Or maybe let's say someone has sent someone, or okay, think like this. Someone has sent the friend request to me, right? When they will click on the friend request in my profile, that means my user ID is recorded in that table, right? So if I logged in, so I'm saying that is auth, right? This user ID extract all the friend request and display, right? Also, you include the sender information also, right? So include the sender information also. That is true. That means we are dealing with two tables. One is the follow request table and the sender table, right? So if you look at the database, let's look at how it works, right? Where is the schema here? So follow request. If someone follow, it will be inside here, right? And the sender, look at this, sender is true, means the user, right? That is the user information. Okay, you will get the sender information also, means whoever sent the friend request, their information also we are fetching here. So now you have the user and the follow request, right? Two tables we have to validate. Okay, this is just the top part, right, where you can see the friend request and see all. Okay, and then we create new component, friend request list, and just pass this data, right? This will be the array of follow request and including the sender, right, information also. Okay, we just pass to this component. We'll go back to this component and try to understand now, right? This component gonna be almost same, right? Look at here. Just look at this display part now, right? There is a div, and this div has the image on the left. Then there is an image text like name, whatever surname, right? And then there is a button like cross check and cross button, right? Okay, and you're gonna click and all this. You're gonna click accept or decline, right? You're gonna click. So that's the UI. Now we need to understand the accept function and decline function, right? When you see the function, this form action, right? It will take the callback function. So callback function you create outside, like here on the top here before the return, and add it here, or you can add the callback function and just call the another function here, right? So you can do, I mean, of course, yeah, I mean, let's put the callback here and we call our function, right? So let's look at our function. Okay, accept function is here and decline function is here, right? You get the point now. Also, we are using optimistic, right? Use optimistic, okay, and use state hook because we have some information to store, right? So first thing first, we are sending the data, right, from here. So let's validate. Let's create the schema for that. Okay, so type request with user. So in the Prisma, right, if the data belongs to the table schema, then you can import that. So we have follow request schema and the user schema, right? So we can combine that, follow request and sender, right? Sender is user, right? Remember that. So these are the two table we combine and put in this schema. Okay, so now request is what? Request is request with user, right? And that is array. So basically that will be object inside the array, right? That's it. So now this is validate, and it has all the information to validate, right? Basically, okay, let's call this one validated data. Okay, not validated, but it will check the schema, right? What is schema? Schema is the blueprint of our data. Okay, how our data should look, right? That is the blueprint. So we are doing the type checking also here, right? Now we have use state. We just pass this also, right? So our use state, remember before we put object here, but we say, okay, that object is this one, request, right? Just pass it here. So this request state will be whatever inside this, right? Initial value. Now let's look at the accept function. Accept functions take two data, right? Request ID and user ID, right? It will receive two data. The request ID, which is number, and user ID is string, right? Fine. Now you have remove optimistic request. You pass request ID here, right? So hope you remember that. This is coming from here, right? Const optimistic request, remove optimistic request, right? And use optimistic request. You call that a use state variable, that is request state, the first one. The second parameter is the callback function. The callback function gonna have the state, which is equal to this, and the value, right? Second thing is value, which you will pass, right? So that value is which we are passing here, user ID, right? Here is user ID, here is user ID. Okay, that is the only thing we are passing. So now we're gonna go inside this state and filter. This is an array, right? We filter it, get each request, and we check if the request ID not equal to value, right? So the filter means it will filter out everything except this ID matching. Okay, that's it. I hope you remember the filter. We need to get all data back, right? Except if this ID and this ID is equal. So this is the true case. I mean, just remember in filter, when they are true, right, then only it will save all the data back to the array, right? So request.id not equal to value, mostly all will be true except one of them. Okay, so that's why it's not equal to value, means if there are 10 data inside this state, 10 object inside the array, right? Each object ID will be not equal to value except one of them. Okay, and that one will be, the false will be removed, right? But anyway, so anyway, okay, let's continue, right? So we have this state now here. We're going to use this optimistic request to, this is the array, right? Now map through that, get request, and finally you display the like display here, right? So you have the request sender avatar. If there is avatar image, display that. If not, just call this PNG file, right? No avatar PNG. Then we're gonna have the text for the name. So this will be avatar, this will be the name, this will be your click, like check and tick mark, right? Accept and decline. Okay, remember accept and decline will take two value, request ID and request sender ID, right? So from here you're gonna find request ID and request sender ID also, because remember this object, each object has the data combined for the follow request, this request, let's see, follow request and the sender, right? User information also. So you just pass that one, and if there is decline, like accept is here, right? And decline is here. Okay, so in each function we are calling our remove optimistic request. Look at here, right? We are calling that. And also in the try block, you calling accept follow request and decline follow request, right? Look at this. It depends which button you click, right? Accept or decline. So they are the callback function. You have to, sorry, not callback, but the server action, right? Like our API function. Okay, So you have to go to the leave action and look at that function. So accept follow request. It will take a user ID, which you're gonna pass, right? That is what we are passing here, user ID, which we have here. Okay, user ID. What is that here, right? This is the user ID we are passing. So user ID, you have user ID. We're gonna get the current user ID also, right? If no current user ID, throw error. Try, like go to the follow request, find first, and then check with this user ID and current user ID, right? A receiver ID will be current user ID, right? So get existing follow request, get all that. If existing follow request is there, then delete. Okay, delete, right? And then await Prisma followers. In the follower now, right? In the follower now, you can remove that. Once you click the button, you need to remove from the data, right? In the follow request, now you're done. Remove the data from there and add the data in the follower. Okay, in the follower table, now you add, right? You want to keep the record of how many people are following, right? If you accept, then from the request table you delete and add to the follower table, right? And just add follower ID and the following ID, right? Just store that one. So if you look at this table, you will figure out, right? Follower table. So here is the follower table, right? We need follower ID and the following ID, right? These are the two things we need. So we add that one now, right? Let's continue. So okay, let me see where we are. Oh, in the action, right? Sorry guys. So once we added, it's done, right? And then if there is error, just display the error. Okay, next is decline request. When you decline, right, same thing, you're gonna receive the user ID, right? And then you're gonna get the current user ID. So this user ID is the person who you declining, right? And then you're gonna get the current user ID, that is your user ID. And we're gonna check. If no current user ID, then just go out, throw error, and try catch block, find with the same information, right? Check that existing follow request. If existing follow request, then delete it, because you want to cancel. So you want to delete the data from the follow request table. Okay, and done. So that is all, right? So we don't have the friend. Okay, right now we don't have any friend, right? So what we can do is we can experiment this. We did the user media, right? Let me sign out, right? Let me sign out and maybe log in with a different user, right? Try that. Google. I have one more account. Oh, sorry guys, I don't know why. Sign out. Oh, I can log in. Email. I don't know which email I can use. Username. So let's make it. Just don't want to log in with the same Gmail, right? So I'll just put it robot, right? Doc, okay, like that. Continue. See, I'm trying to log in, right? I need to register first, let's sign up. Oh my God, okay, let's sign up, right? So sign up with Gmail and see if this will work. It will ask me again, it will log me directly, right? Let's see how I can do that. Sign up. Let me create first name Robert, last name Welker, then username Rob or Doc, right? And then email. So email, manage address. Okay, let's go there. Okay, so what email I can use now? Let's see. Continue. Let's see. It's not working, right? What should I do now? Let me try with the GitHub, right? Okay, authorize clerk. again. Okay, fine. So we have the user now, right? We have the user here. So if you go to the, I mean, this is in the home page, right? Home page, fine. See if all friend request, I cannot see, right? So there is no friend request yet. Okay. So this is the new user. Let me sign out, right? Sign out. If we go to the database now, let's go to the database, right? In the user table, refresh this. Oh. Save change. Okay, save change, right? I have to save change. Even it did not let me add something, right? Okay, this. Okay, let's close that. Close. So in the user, I must have. It must be two user, right? Okay. So that is Dave from before, right? I don't know why it did not sign out. Log in with this. Sign out. Log in with this. Okay, fine. There should be two user, but it's just not showing up. Yeah, I don't know why this data was not sent. Something is not correct, but let's go back and try to work on this. Let me log in with the Google here and see if I can find something. If I go to profile, this will not work yet. Yeah, something is not correct. So I have to, like, okay, let me just open here, right? Localhost. Now sign out here and log in with this, right? Oh, it just let me logged out from both places. You currently single session, right? Okay. You have currently single session mode. Okay, you can only be signed into one account at a time, right? Oh, okay, that's the reason. Okay. So what we can do, right? Go back here, and that's the reason it is not let me log in, adding this data, right? Because of this session, single session. If I go to this place and type localhost, let's see if this will work, right? Yeah, different browser. Okay, now use the Google. Okay, this is not here. What I will do, I'm just gonna use if I can remember this. I just ask the username password, right? I don't remember even that one, So, okay, what I will do, right? I'm gonna try to create the account here. So let's try to go back and sign up here now, right? And see if we can do that. First name will be Robert. Welfare. Username will be email then I don't have the right email. Okay, so I don't know what to use. I don't remember the password. Okay, I don't have that. I have to find the email ID and to log in, right? Or to create account. Okay, I need to get the username, password, and then try to create account. So I will do that one, and I will explain in the next video. Okay, for now I will just stop, right? So we need two users so that we can send the friend request and one can accept or decline, right? Like just to test. But for now I will just stop here, and then we will continue the remaining in the next video.